In this very short video, I'm going to discuss the shutdown rule in the short term for a business. And so I put together some simple numbers here, and conventional wisdom would tell us that if we're losing money in an operation, that we should shut down and find something else to do. Well, that may not always be the case, particularly if we consider sunk costs. So let's take an example here where we have a business assigned a lease and they are on the hook for rent of $5,000 per month um, for some office space. Okay. So if the doors are open or the doors close up permanently, we're still on the hook for that $5,000 a month, at least for the year we've signed the lease. Let's say that in the course of the month, variable costs amount to $10,000. So that could be for raw materials, wages, whatever. That would give us our total cost of 15,000. Now, let's say our revenues each month are 12,000. Simple math says we take our revenues minus our expenses. And in this case, we're going to take $12,000, subtract out the 15,000 of total cost, and we end up with a loss of $3,000 per month. Now, that's not great, but should we shut the business down entirely? Well, in this case, no, because if we shut down, uh, we will still have to pay this $5,000 a month, which that's a loss of 5,000 versus a loss of 3,000. So at least in the short run, we are going to stay open. Now, let's say that conditions do not change and we're still taking in 12,000 a month with this set of cost dynamics. What do we do? Well, a couple things. At the end of your lease, you could just say, "All right, this didn't work out. I'm gone." Well, what if we try something different? What if we go to the landlord and we say, "You know what? $5,000 a month is just too steep. We can't afford that." And let's say that we ask them, try to negotiate it down to 1,000. Now, if we did that, what would happen? Well, total cost now would only be 11,000 per month once I get my cursor to work. And so we would actually now have this cost dynamic where we're actually making a profit of $1,000 per month. And so the essential question becomes, will the landlord take the reduction in the rent? And again, conventional wisdom, a lot of people would say no, they're not going to accept $1,000 per month rather than the 5,000 that they got from you before. But is that always the case? It's going to come down to the dynamics of supply and demand in the market and our very good friend, opportunity cost. If, for example, the area where this rental property is has a lot of vacancies and the landlord is having trouble renting space, they may accept $1,000 a month for a lease based on the idea that $1,000 a month coming in is better than nothing coming in. And so you really don't know until you ask. If they say no, they say no, and you pack up shop and you do something else. But at least in the short term, you're going to stay open and ride it out until we get out of that lease and see what our position is going forward. Okay. So the moral of the story is you will not always shut down in the short run if you're operating at a loss. As long as you're able to cover your variable costs in the short run, you will generally stay open and see if conditions don't improve.